Hi guys, we are on a train in Poland, but I'm not sure where we are going. Cezi knows where are we going, Cezi?
Poznan.
Pozna.
What's in Poznan?
What's in Pozna?
We have a ministry. We have a coffee ministry there, and we have a church plant to that we're going to visit.
All I heard is we're going to Pozna for coffee.
And Polish hot chocolate.
It's Mark.
Hi.
So we've been talking about can you be happy without money? And well, I didn't expect all the deep psychological answers you have to hear this. Okay, Chelsea, can you be happy without money?
Um, just certain points. Like there is a point where if you don't have enough resources to meet your basic needs, and this change from culture to culture, that you probably your happiness will be compromised. And so, but that after that certain point, having more will not make you happy. But actually, the more you build on it, the unhappier you could become because it takes more effort to keep that standard of life and also the worriness to lose it. And so there's just a sweet spot that each culture or place has where all your basic needs are met and you are in a good place. And then after below that or above that, then your happiness can be compromised.
Thank you, Chezi. Linda, can you be happy without money?
Yes. We've had to, at various times in our ministry, had to face what if we lost everything? What if we had nothing left? And then you have to think what's most important. Um, we had to leave one time with just our backpack thinking we'll never see our stuff ever again. So I packed a few family pictures, a few family recipes, and left. And it actually was really kind of funny because when thinking I might never see any of this again, what's most important to me, the backpack was really very unfull. It was empty in many ways because it's like I could live without all of this if I had to.
But were you happy?
Yes, I had my family. It's like happy. Was I happy? No. Was I content? Yes. I think those are two different things. I didn't rejoice that I was leaving my stuff behind. There was sadness in leaving it behind, but I was taking my girls with me. And that's really what I needed, my girls. Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's hear what Dean has to say. Can you be happy without money, Mark?
Yes, I think happiness is, well, it's an emotion. It's subjective. Everyone has a different threshold in terms of happiness. I would say it's more about having contentment or peace in your situation. So we know a lot of really poor people that are very content and at peace with their life that they are being blessed with. So I think if we work according to our emotions, then the happiness is a high, and to be high, I need more and more and more and more. But contentment is saying, this is who I am, this is what I have, this is what I've been blessed with, and I'm gonna enjoy that, and I have peace about that. So yeah, I don't think it's so much about happiness as it is about having peace and contentment.
Being content.
I think there's three different emotions we're talking here. You have happiness, you have joy, you have contentment. And so I think we should agree what do we define happiness, what do we define joy,
It's
and what
subjective,
yes. But like according to Brene Brown, happiness is just this I'm seeing here, pleasure related to your current environment. And this is research based on defining emotions.
So like
While
we're
But that's
happy.
contentment
Yes,
too.
yeah. Well, but joy is intense feeling of deep spiritual connection. And so you can have joy even if you don't have money, if you feel that spiritual connection. But you might not have happiness because your circumstances. Like if you don't have enough food to feed your kids, if you don't have a warm place to be with your family, if you are lacking all of that, I think that's where your happiness is compromised because it's dependent on the circumstances. And that's where finances, if the finances give us those circumstances, then we can and we can have also enjoy. We can have it all the time. I think even if we don't have money, I think that the two, even if you don't have enough food, but you feel a strong spiritual connection with your family and with God or your relationship, you could still apply joy.
So how would we define contentment?
Oh no, here, well,
Because you said-
I'll ask for Abraham.
Different neighbor, I talk about
If you need an
contentment.
answer, just tell me. I'll find it for you.
So there is Filimo. He's in his own world,
He's
but
content.
he looks very content. So I'm gonna leave him alone.
So she defines contentment a quiet assurance that who you are right now is enough, grounded in the present rather than pursuing of future goals.
Ooh.
So is she saying if you are content, you won't be pursuing any future goals?
No, like you find pleasure, like what I think it's saying, it's enough where you are. You're not
Yes.
looking to achieve the next thing. Because I think we spend too much time on trying to achieve the next. We plan for the next thing. It's almost we
Yeah.
live in the future or in the past, but we
Instead
miss,
of enjoying the present.
Yes,
I
like in this moment.
I would think that this idea of achieving goals, it's not to say you don't have goals,
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
not
yeah, that's
working
right.
towards goals. It's saying that my source of joy or peace or
Okay.
whatever is not based on
That's
whether or
right.
not I accomplish that goal.
Yes.
What I have now is enough. Who I am is not dependent on whether I achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And how I feel about my life now is not
Yeah.
dependent on whether I achieve that goal. I don't need to worry what's going to happen if I don't achieve that goal.
Okay.
But the goal is still there, and I'm still working towards it.
Okay. So one last quick question: how does your relationship with Jesus affect what you feel about money and contentment and joy and happiness? Now we have to use all those words, not just
Yeah.
happiness.
Well, if I think about, Jesus is within me, and that my goal to walk spiritually is to become more Christ-like than looking at Christ. Was he dependent on money? No, he wasn't. Did he know that his father would supply all of his needs? Yes. But did he know that they needed money? Yes. He told Peter, go out and go fishing, and that you'll find a coin, and you can pay our taxes. People supplied their needs. He didn't say live with nothing, but just trust that the Father supplies what is needed when it's needed. So it's accepting the reality of the world, but trusting that God is giving you the resources, the skills, the abilities, connections to supply those needs.
Okay.
And I think it starts a little bit with the joy, which brings Philippians, right? Rejoice, because for me, the
And
joy,
again, I
if the
say
joy,
rejoice.
if this connection, if you feel connected to God, if you take care of that connection, you have joy, which is your foundation. And then I think experience, your happiness is based on the experience, because when I look at my past, I don't see one time that God didn't show up when the circumstances were hard, and it felt like I couldn't see any possibilities. And I think that's what faith does for me, or for people who are connected to Jesus, because again, happiness, if we talk about hope, is the ability to see possibilities. And even the circumstances are difficult, there is a possibility, there is hope because of your relationship with Jesus and the experience. And then contentment, if contentment is like just being happy, being okay to where you are, I think if you have those circumstances taken care, your connection with Jesus in place, then contentment is just a manifestation of these two in the life that you live. So absolutely, Jesus makes a huge difference, I think, in all of these things.
Well, my thought, Samantha, is that he supplies all my needs according to his resources. And when I'm thinking here specifically of when we pursued ministry and pastored our first church. We were as poor as church mice. I mean, we cleared $180 a week. And with that, we bought groceries, clothes, everything to survive with 3 little girls. It was awesome. we were happy. We had joy. We were content. We didn't have a lot of money. We had just barely enough. And church members would come along every now and again out of their gardens. They'd bring veggies and things like that. And I think trust is the key thing. When you're walking with Jesus and you really trust Him, He will supply all your needs. And that will then give you a deep sense of peace, contentment, joy, happiness. And yeah, just knowing that you are where He is and where He wants you to be.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for so much for participating in this discussion. And there you go, Filimo.
He's reading the Bible.
He's very happy and content right now.
Well, I think he's reading Job.
Yeah,
He's
and
joyful.
and then
Connecting.
a view of the Polish countryside.
It hasn't changed anything.
Don't forget to listen to this week's episode of Love and Money on the Loving Love podcast.